Wow, Tyson Fury once again exposed for lying after Tyson Fury claimed that Deontay Wilder was looking for a way out and wanted step-aside money to allow Joshua versus Fury. We now find out that Tyson Fury again, per usual, lied on Deontay Wilder's brand and his name. And we're going to talk about all that and more in this video. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, y'all know what to do. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. I drop daily boxing content, the latest and greatest, all things boxing. This is your one-stop shop for the sweet science, boxing, some UFC. I go daily. Uploads, boxing, pre and post fight breakdowns, let you know what type of shape the fighters are in, and so much more. If you like that kind of thing, smash the like button. Now, bad news for Tyson Fury, and we'll jump right into the mix. Tyson Fury lied like he's been known to do, and you see this Sky Sports interview. It says Tyson Fury says that Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder wants $20 million to step aside as a step aside fee, right? So as we know, I'm just going to give you a quick recap. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury were said to fight. Little did they reveal to the public that this man you see on screen to the left, Deontay Wilder, had Fury in court. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua all knew about this. There's interviews where they said that in their alleged contract for Joshua Fury to happen in Saudi Arabia, this was notated that there was an ongoing arbitration with Deontay Wilder and pending the results of the Wilder arbitration. But yet and still, people like Eddie Hearn, at times Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, a little bit Joshua, psyched the fans up for no reason and got them hyped into thinking that there was going to be this undisputed fight, and they had something else on the table that hadn't been concluded, which is the Wilder arbitration. In the end, Wilder won. He defeated Tyson Fury in court. The judge sided with Wilder and says he has a strong point. Tyson Fury, you must complete this. You had a 2-fight deal. This is a trilogy, and you tried to bail on Wilder. So this is an extremely bad look. After this bad look, Tyson Fury posted on his social media that Wilder wanted step-aside money, and he's a clown and a joker. Exhibit A. You see right there, Gypsy King. This is what he said. He says, "What a joke, Bronze Bomber Wilder." That's his handle. So what a joke Deontay Wilder has become, right? And he posted this clip of him working with Malik Scott, his new trainer. He says, "Wilder asked for $20 million to move over. What a joker. Looks like I have to crack his skull again." Right? So Tyson Fury is lying right here, and I'll prove it in just 1 second, saying that Wilder was looking to get $20 million and wanted to step aside rather than face him, but he wants to make it look like he's just so daring and he's the good guy, because the Joshua Fury fight looked miserable, you know, to get people's hopes up for no reason. Like I told you, Ego Stradamus strikes again. And then when they couldn't deliver, then it became a blame game. Eddie Hearn blaming Tyson Fury and Bob Arum and Frank Warren. Tyson Fury, we're just supposed to forget about all the lies. Tyson Fury also did a video, and he said that, here's the video right here. He said he's fighting Joshua. You see it right there. Fury says a fight with Joshua will be the biggest sporting event. And in this video, he stated that the fight with Joshua was done the day before the arbitration conclusion.
Hey there, it's Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. Got some massive news for you all, guys. I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this fight's a 100% on. August 14th, 2021, summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So I don't need to play the whole thing because we know that was a lie. So Fury said the fight with Joshua 100% was happening, which, as I just mentioned, is not happening. And then, looking for a scapegoat, someone to blame, he says that Wilder has become a joke. He got to crack his skull. and he says Wilder asked for 20 million to move over. He was also on ESPN. And the great thing about people like Fury is they make my job easy. When they lie, digital mob, we control the narrative. At the end of the day, everything you do, everything that your team is doing in this digital space, we have eyes everywhere in every city. So it always comes back to bite you when you're not being upfront and truthful. Like my mom used to tell me, honesty is the best policy. So now he's saying Wilder is a joke, and Wilder asked for 20 million to move over for Joshua Fury to happen. And when it didn't happen and Wilder won the arbitration, he had to find a way to try to taint and make Wilder look bad, right? And then he went on ESPN and it says Tyson Fury explains why he won't pay Deontay Wilder step aside money to set up the Joshua fight. So he tried to make it sound noble, and on the ESPN telecast, he says, I pay in butt whoopings. It says, and here's another, he said it also to The Athletic. This guy is a sucker. I wouldn't give him 20,000. I pay in butt whoopings. That's what I will give Wilder. I'm not interested in giving anyone any money. They've got to earn it like I did the hard way from fighting the best, yada, yada, yada. More lies from Tyson Fury, and it is time to prove it. So he's trying to make himself sound like Billy Badass and saying, hey, I pay in butt whoopings. I don't want to pay Wilder any step aside money. After saying that Wilder had asked for the 20 million step aside. Even his dad, John Fury, said that Wilder should have took step aside money. So this whole conversation of step aside money has been manufactured by Tyson Fury, because if you look at reports, which I will show you, Wilder's team all said Wilder wants it back in blood. He wants the noble thing, which is for a fighter, dignity, revenge, retribution. He wants to fight back in blood. He wants to beat Tyson Fury. But again, Tyson Fury attempted to try to make Wilder look like a coward. And in the end, we find out who's really lying. So Fury put out what he put out, said Wilder wanted step aside money. John Fury, did an interview with BT Sport and kept it going and said Wilder should have took the step aside money. Why didn't he? And they're talking about this mythical step aside money, which we'll get to in a second. Please smash the like button. Wilder's team wasn't offered step aside money to allow Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua claim Shelly Finkel. So you listen to Wilder's team, they're saying it didn't get to a point. We didn't say we wanted to step aside, but Fury the liar says that Wilder asked for 20 million. Wilder's team says no, we didn't, right? Deontay Wilder's manager confirms they never received any step aside offers from Tyson Fury's team. So men lie, women lie, numbers don't, and neither do quotes. So just before I play this quick clip, Fury claimed that Deontay Wilder wanted step aside money, $20 million, to try to make Wilder look like he was afraid. He also put it on his social media. This is Deontay Wilder's team. They said that's not true. Malik Scott said it's not true. Shelly Finkel of Wilder's team said it's not true. And you also had DAZN. It says, should Deontay Wilder take step aside money, right? So they made a whole video. Sergio Mora was talking about it, right? Sergio Mora was talking about it, saying, I would take the step aside money, and why won't Wilder take it? And I made videos about it. So with all these different sides going on, now we get to find out the actual truth, that it didn't even come to step aside money. Right now, I will play Tyson Fury's very own promoter, UK promoter Frank Warren, and he admits the reporter misspoke because Tyson Fury again put these lies out saying Wilder didn't want the fight and he asked for 20 million. So the reporter in this interview is interviewing BT Sport, is interviewing Frank Warren, and he's under the pretense, because Fury has told people that Wilder didn't really want the fight. He wanted step aside money, but it's Frank Warren who actually corrects, this is Fury's promoter, who actually corrects the reporter and says, hey, it didn't even get to the point of step aside money. They said, you're fighting, Fury is fighting Wilder, end of discussion. Roll the clip.
And Wilder's motivation, I think you have to look at it as someone who's turned down what was potentially an enormous amount of step-aside money. This is more than money.
It didn't even get to that. It didn't get to that. No, he just wanted to fight. That side wanted to fight. And that was it. Judge made a decision. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, which is admirable in a way, right?
Well, it is. I mean, it shows you that what he obviously feels that he's got the beast in a Tyson. I don't know, but that's what he feels, and he's stepping up to the plate. So you got to take your hat to him.
Wow. So you guys just heard it for yourself. Frank Warren just told the whole world that it never got to the point. We never presented Wilder with any options for step aside money. More proof, like I told you, that Fury is a liar who kept saying that Wilder was asking for money to move over. Wilder's team, also keep in mind, the same team that didn't do a lot of talking during the arbitration and allowed people to speculate, allowed people to lie, allowed people to carry on as if the Joshua Fury fight was done. This is all Fury's team, what they were doing, and Anthony Joshua's team. Wilder's team looks to be on the same page. They are all in unison. You see it right there. Deontay Wilder wasn't offered step-aside money to allow Tyson Fury versus Joshua. So John Fury, Tyson Fury, and everybody else, DAZN did a debate with Sergio Mora, and he was saying, hey, Wilder should have took the step-aside money. All that to only find out that the people who bamboozled you and hoodwinked you into believing that Joshua Fury is done, it looks like they're just covering their tracks, because Frank Warren just told you that Wilder, it never escalated. So Eddie Hearn's doing interviews and he's saying, he said pretty much the same thing. He said they never even called us and asked us if we can make other arrangements. They never phoned me and said that. They just said, okay, and laid down. Wilder won the arbitration and said, we're fighting him next. So I made the video about it. Eddie Hearn had already confirmed that step-aside money was never looked at, right? Deontay Wilder's team been telling you, you see it in green, we never looked at step-aside money. But on my logic, if it were me and I was in Eddie's shoes before the decision, blah, 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 blah. So Wilder's team told you they weren't looking for step-aside money. But it was Tyson Fury who spread this lie about Wilder. So you got to put some respect on Wilder's name. Everybody, you've seen all of old media kept talking about this step-aside money. Step-aside money. Should Wilder take it? Making the decision for him. And the ironic thing is this. In what world only do they do this to black fighters, right? In what world do you have the world of boxing telling the pro boxer Deontay Wilder to not be so daring, not be so noble, not be so valiant, and the guy that just beat you try to improve and try to prove to the world that you can beat him? To me, from a sports perspective, as a sportsman and as a true competitor, that's what you're supposed to do. Somebody beats you, you're supposed to want to feel like I could get redemption. That's what a true competitor would do. But because people lied to you, like Eddie Hearn, and told you that something else was going to be the case that wasn't, Joshua Fury, they're telling Wilder to just sit this one out, remain on the sidelines. Don't do the noble thing. If this doesn't show y'all fear and old media is afraid of this man Wilder, I do not know what will show you that. But I told you, Wilder, he said things were off that particular night. He says he can do better. He said he can be better. He's already knocked Fury out, as you see in this picture. And he switched a couple things on his team. Yet and still, they want this man to just give up and lay down. He said he's coming for Fury, and he wants his back in blood. You have Tyson Fury, a known liar, who kept lying to people and saying Wilder was looking for a way out, trying to take a back door out. I can't wait for this fight, but more proof that Tyson Fury is a liar. He shouldn't be trusted. One day, the day before the arbitration, he's saying Joshua fight is done 100%. Then the next day, we find out that's not true. He said he was fighting in December, And then December rolls around, December 5th, we find out that's not true. And meanwhile, Wilder, his team, his closest people to him have kept it a buck, and the stuff they have said has come true. So another strike for Tyson Fury. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Use my link in the description to set up TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an awesome browser extension to help you level up your YouTube content, making more money, and ultimately taking you to the next level. Crazy look. It's a bad look for Fury and old media. Obviously, there's a lot of worry. They don't want Wilder to even be in the consideration. That's why this whole notion of step aside came out. When do you see a fighter urged to sit down? Why didn't they urge Joshua to leave it alone when Andy Ruiz beat him? And Eddie Hearn in Rematch Room had a rematch clause. But then when Wilder wants it back in blood, and it looks like he's trying to make significant improvements, he's made tweaks to his team, he looks like he's learning, he's looking sharp in these recent clips, they telling Wilder to sit this one out and allow for Joshua Fury, and then blaming him for it, which I just played the clip. Frank Warren told you, it never even escalated to that point. Boop, checkmate.